Yeah, folks, we're back. We got to review this Bill Maher Club Random podcast video. And yeah, because only reason I'm reviewing is because I don't fuck with Bill Maher no more. Like he's just a cuck for Israel, you know. So full of shit, so disingenuous that it's like, oh god, it's just yeah, bro. He's literally just become like maleducato. I don't know how to say, but but everyone said this particular episode with Bill was the craziest and the most
Yeah,
bonkers.
it's crazy for a guy that's always committed. This is what's really disappointing. This is what I think about it. For a dude that's always been like, "Oh, I'm the guy that has every voice, no matter what."
Yeah, like I have
If
exactly.
it, even if it's right, left, center, whatever, I have everybody on the show. Everybody gets a fucking platform, and then he's just like, "No, this issue, Stonewall.
Yeah,
I'm
this
just
this
gonna give
particular
you."
issue song, but it's like even over time, like I don't know if it's we're getting older, but the dude's just sounding like your obnoxious centrist father. Doesn't he just give that vibe, bro? Just an obnoxious centrist boomer dad.
Eh, but you do kind of need a little bit the
Yeah, you
centrist,
do, especially in today's world. But with this,
especially in today's world where it's just ridiculous.
yeah. My prediction for the war is wild, though. I actually think Hamas will win.
I mean, dude, they already. I mean, in a way, think about the terror they created, the fear.
But it's
They
not even.
already won, bro. Like that war. You know
Well,
what I
it's not
mean?
even
Like,
that. Israelis are just fighting because they hate Muslims and they want real estate. Like Hamas is literally fighting for life, fighting to exist. And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, most of the world's governments got behind Israel. The people have always been behind the Palestinians. Most of the world's government got behind Israel. But I don't know if you've seen Meloni, who I like a lot. Even Meloni's starting to have a different, because the thing about the Israelis is that they're not looking at who they're bombing. Like when you start bombing churches or you start, bombing place of worship of other religion, because let's call it what it is. The Western governments are Islamophobic by default. But then like when you start bombing churches, it's like, bro, it's like it's a classic case of till it happens to you syndrome. Like, yeah, I'm down with killing Muslims, but don't kill my people. And it's like, yeah, now you're just killing regular humanitarians while they're trying to like worship and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And now everyone's like, yeah, I don't like how it's happening to them, but it definitely can't happen to me. Selfish as it is, you know. Then when you throw that into play, we thought the lack of support from just regular people, and then you fight in the fact that they're gonna have to fuck with Hezbollah, which it actually is a trained military, basically. It's like, dude, what? Joe Biden needs to send you $100 billion to what? Defeat this fucking militia? You know? Like that $100 billion would make by default Israel have the second largest military budget in the world. They have the first because they already have the Americans, but if they were their own country, because I call Israel isn't real, you know, if they were their own country, they would have the second
he
largest.
is wahhabing out.
I'm
He's going
Wahhabi
full
now.
wahhab.
Yeah, they would have the second largest military budget in the world. You need the second largest military budget in the world to bomb defenseless people and kill a group of 30,000
That's
fighters.
true,
Real?
though. They don't have the second
Yeah,
largest, but it's up there. It's
because at
up
the
there.
end of the day, you can have all the money in the world, but it's different when you're fighting against people who are fighting for their existence. Y'all just are filled with hatred and want real estate, you know. So I don't see them winning. I do not see them winning. The IDF is going to get their ass handed to them, and years from down the road, I mean, it's not like Israel's going to cease to exist, but there's going to be legitimate two states. I feel like years down the road when this is said and done, and that's Hamas.
Yeah.
That's Hamas winning right there.
I mean, I mean, not now, because obviously shit's so hot, but eventually, yeah, dude, it has to. Like, look where it's gonna
Yeah, the
go.
more governments are turning on them, it's like the French will never turn because they view the Muslims in their country as a problem. So with that mentality, they're always going to do leka 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 culo. But you look at someone like Giorgia Meloni, that's like, all right, we're cool with Israel, but you start bombing churches, our people, you need a church to worship, so why would you kill them? As selfish as it is, it's like
Yeah,
Hamas will win this war.
I don't think so, dude.
Yes, they will get their way. 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, there will be two states. Because remember, it's people fighting for their existence versus people fighting just out of hate and for real estate.
I mean, they're both kind of fighting for their existence in a way.
No, Israel is not. They will always exist. So long as the United States exists, Israel will exist. Never.
That's why they just need to do the right thing and just divide it up, bro.
I mean, that's still the wrong thing, but it's the better thing. But
I mean, what
that's
do you
our
want to do?
debate of whether or not we think it's a legitimate place or not. I happen to not think so. That's why I call Israel isn't real, because there's a few things that trigger Israelis that make their country not legitimate. Like the fact that their democracy is a sham, and whenever you question them about it, they love to talk about great replacement theory is one. Okay. They do. Dude, don't even sit there. Israelis love to talk about great replacement theory. They're worse than white supremacist right wingers in the United States, bro. They
We
love
had to have a lot of baby because if not, the Muslim will creep to the kibbutz.
Yeah, maybe people would want to have children with y'all if y'all weren't so obnoxious. I don't know. Yeah.
Bro.
For real though. But anyways, we gotta let's get to this thing because your boy's gotta go later tonight. Yeah. But yeah. But oh yo, my show yesterday, I made an Israel joke. I was like, anyone here from the Middle East? And some guy was like, Israel. I'm like, an actual country. Everyone turned and pointed at the dude. He got up and left. It's like, yeah, nobody fucks with y'all, bro. Like, nobody fucks with y'all. Bro, nobody likes you, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. And then I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I'm sorry, sir, about all the anti-Semitism. There's a lot of anti-Semitism that's been going on. Palestinians are Semites. That's when the guy like is like, I gotta get. He just started like put pep in his step when he was leaving. You know,
He's like, this is going to turn quickly to jihad.
dog. Bro, with them Israel Palestine jokes. You get a pro-Palestinian crowd. Yo, I assassinated the crowd. Look, it's like he says, all right, this is the crowd. This is me. Bam. Habibti, Habibti.
You got an Arab crowd. You remember September 11?
You remember the 11th September?
11 September.
Yeah, but that's where I'm going tonight. I met a chick at the show.
Fire.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good night. I had a good. Let me clean my camera. I haven't had a set that good in a while either. Though. That's it. That was the thing.
Yes, how it is sometimes, bro. Don't act like you don't know this.
Yeah, and
Bro,
then I
I
finally did my Munich show.
because it's so fucking lame out here, bro.
Dude, and I did my Nazi Munich joke. I was like, don't worry, don't worry. After the Israelis are done trying to do their genocide, the United States will have plenty of work for them. Remember the Nazi scientists? That's why when you say, Houston, we have a problem, they just answer, they go, Houston, this is Munich. Your boy was ripping.
Andiamo.
Andiamo, though. All right. Let me find this club random with Bill Maher. Oh yeah, I heard the James Brolin one was nuts too.
That one was super fire. I watched that.
I heard it
Dude,
was nuts.
I
Like,
didn't know who he was, and then I looked him up, bro. That's Josh Brolin's dad. Was a famous actor, also. Fire.
what? I heard it got mad conspiracy theory and all that. Like
Not really.
they said
Just
that one
about
was,
medicine. Yeah, they were like, yeah, the vaccines were fucking retarded or some shit.
bro. One thing I need to figure out is how to make this window bigger, bro. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, you turned off your camera. How do I make this window bigger? Edit,
Invite.
pin, hide self view. Oh yeah. How do you make this bigger? Cafante. Well, all right. Anyway, yeah, I heard that one got, but like the one everyone's talking about this one with Candace, Candace Owens.
Yeah, bro. You mad entertaining, dude.
Yeah. All right, so let's see it. All right, part one, because we're gonna have to do multiple parts to this one.
Oh yeah, true.
Bro, you know what I hate is that she's hot, bro. And it's like, dog, why does she gotta be fucking hot, dude? Like,
Dude, she's so hot. I like her woke takes, bro.
yeah.
But yeah, then she starts talking about other shit, and she's just
Yeah, I love
ridiculous.
how she owns college kids, but at the same time, it's college kids, yo. College kids are
No, yeah, but they're literally like the most queefinated. Like, yeah, you have to own those kids, but like, come on, that's
yeah.
like you're shooting like fish in a barrel.
Yeah, but I would make a bet though that the other majors aren't like that. Like put it this way, like if I went to college now and I did the same because I was in engineering, no one would be like that. No one would be like that in engineering, you know. Like literally, my entire major was just Indian and Chinese kids, and they were all like, "I need to be the best of. I need to be the top of my class." You know. Sono razzistissimi. Sono terribili.
I need to be the top of my class. That's what you said.
Oh my god, look at this idiot. Like, yeah. But anyway, let's see how it starts. Let's go.
That's fucking the most 7-Eleven Bengali shit I've ever heard.
It's like, yo, this bitch has gone full Candace. Candace is full Candace. She's wearing a Harley Davidson shirt.
Dude, she's fire. You pipe, shut up.
It's not a man cave because I'm not a husband.
It's a man cave.
It's not, it's a
Yeah.
nightclub.
Yeah, but men need caves even if they don't have wives.
No,
I think they
this is a
do.
nightclub. Don't care it. Oh, I see you're with child.
I've been shot for 3 years. I've been pregnant for 3
No, she's just obese. It's like, yeah.
years. I've had a baby in 2021. This is like my permanent state now, basically an elephant.
You do know that science knows what causes this now.
Do they know? I actually have been trying to figure it out for the last 3 years because it feels like it's a medical
So
condition.
you're like having Irish twins?
Or literally, I have a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and this one's due in November.
Bro, this chick just fucking pops out baby. She is a trad wife.
I like her, bro.
Yeah.
Laying tight, dog. Serious.
Her whole career is a grift, bro, because she says there's no such thing as racial discrimination. She literally got famous by suing her school district and won for $30,000 for saying she was discriminated for being black. This is in high school. And then she went to work as an intern in the Obama White House.
Wow.
She is the grip.
Dude, come on. Stop lying. She's entertaining, bro.
You're like, stop lying. I masturbate to her. Stop lying.
Stop lying. You too, bro.
Me too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You'd pipe.
She's moronic, but I still whack off to her. Yeah. Andiamo.
Yeah. I know.
I've been pregnant for 3 years.
So
So I think it's gonna be weird when I'm not pregnant anymore.
Yeah, dude, it's like, what the fuck?
And what's that like when you're always pregnant?
Honestly,
It's gotta be rough.
it's not. I feel like
Really?
everyone has this like cultural understanding of pregnancy, and I think.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
like, yo, what is it like to be pregnant for 3 straight years? That means you haven't had a drink in 3 straight years.
Come on. She's probably snuck a Hennessy or two.
And it has to be Hennessy.
Well, her black half came out. That's what I'm saying.
She just has a fifth. He's like, yeah, you know,
Bro, come on. She lives in fucking Tennessee, bro. She sips in a bourbon. And that's fine. If you drink like once when you're pregnant, I don't think it's that bad.
well, my mom smoked and drank her entire pregnancy. That I'm sure of. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's why you're a midget.
and that's why, yeah, my growth has been stunted. It matters.
Yeah.
Hold on. Pirlo, basta. He's like doing that crying thing where he holds his toy because he wants to play. And it's like, no.
Cultural. I know. I feel
Stop
like
it.
this alien gnawing on you from the inside. That
It's like it's not that big of a deal. I gotta be honest with you. It's
Really?
it's like for some women, obviously you can look at them and you can tell which ones are having what looks like an allergic reaction, right? And they have a rough go with it, but some people
Right.
just do pregnancy pretty easily, and I'm one of those people that just kind of like it doesn't really change anything.
so you're just gonna keep going?
No, I wanted to do it all back to back.
Candace, can you
because
just
I didn't
stop
want
having
to
kids?
be
We want
involved.
less of
We were
you.
like, we had a kid and we waited 5 years for the next one. I'm like, who wants to like restart and take out all the bottles? And I just was like, if I'm getting pregnant, I'm just gonna have all of my kids back to
God,
back.
I hate. Why does she have to
And
be
then
so
one-
hot, bro?
Yeah, I think it's genius.
So you do believe in birth control? You're not doing
I actually don't believe in birth control.
No? You're just doing it the Catholic way, just like whatever
My husband's
happens?
so Catholic, like beyond. He's
But then you
really
could
Catholic.
have 12 kids.
I know, it's dangerous.
Of course it
It's
is.
completely dangerous.
And stupid.
I'm on your side.
Well, what are you gonna do? Trick them and take birth control?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, Catholics, they have a lot of kids. This is just,
Yes.
I didn't
That
choose
was
this
a-
life.
that
Life
was-
That's
was
so not true. L'Italia is the #1 Catholic country in the world. You know,
How? You never go to church. What are you talking about?
yeah, they never go to church, but they are, bro. They're like literally word. Come on, bro. L'Italia. In Catholic, come on, bro.
You don't go to church. You have the best churches in the world and you don't go.
Yeah, I know. But we are we have the best churches. That's why we're like the #1 Catholic country. They have a population decrease of Italians. Don't forget, Italians too are obsessed with that GRT stuff. That's why they're all xenophobic. They're
Yeah.
obsessed not as obsessed as the Israelis, but yo, they're all xenophobic because they're having a population decrease because everyone uses contraception in Italy. You know.
True.
Now Ireland was so Catholic that prior to 2011, contraception was actually illegal, and they had the fastest birth rate in the world.
What?
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
only know
that's
this
wild.
because I was watching the Winter Olympics and Ireland was walking by, and Matt Lauer, RIP, he didn't actually RIP, but he just got a sexual harassment scandal. But Matt Lauer explained the whole thing. And I was like, all right, I learned something new about Ireland. That they just fuck all the time without fucking condoms.
When I was a kid.
Ireland's dope.
Ireland's dope.
Where did you grow up?
New Jersey.
Okay, yeah, you definitely saw some 14 kids.
In the
Catholic.
60s?
Yeah, for sure,
Of course.
for sure. But they were happy.
But you don't want that to be you.
I do kind of. I kind of want a school bus. Yeah, yeah. Like my colleague Matt, well, she's got 6 kids. I feel I'm naturally competitive. Yeah,
It's
it's really bad.
Well,
It's bad. I'm very, very.
Yeah, but
competitive.
Matt Walsh has 6 kids so he can hide his actual sexuality, okay? Let's be honest here.
How else would he be able to spot it so quickly?
Like those Cubans that have like 8 kids. They're like the fruity. You know the ones I'm talking about? Like those randos in Hialeah that be having like 8 kids, but they're the fruitiest motherfuckers ever.
Yeah, again, cat scratched and wearing fucking Eddie, what do you call it? Ed Hardy?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to be honest, really bad.
Definitely bad for the
I
planet.
know.
Let's not get into that. Right. I mean,
Kids are bad for the planet.
well, whatever
They're
they,
pretty eco-friendly, actually. Adults are bad for the planet.
well, they're not eco-friendly in the sense that they're gonna have kids and, you're just making more people who are using resources, people who.
Yeah, I
argue
hate
about
this take by
climate
Bill Maher. I
and,
always have.
you
Bro,
know,
I've
Elon
always
Musk.
hated this take by Bill Maher that like having kids eats the planet. It's like, yeah, now it does because we haven't like set up apparatuses that like conserve fuel, create clean energy. If we had those things, like the amount of kids people have wouldn't really be a problem. It's just that we don't have these things. So
Also, like the kid that could invent that, like,
yeah,
should
and that too,
be-
bro.
be born. So what the fuck? Just gonna not fucking progress as a
For
species?
the most part, the things I'm saying that we've invented them. It's just like, it doesn't fit the profit motive. But you know who actually is the leading innovator in clean energy in the world?
Who?
The country we've been talking about, Israel.
Oh yes, they're very green, very smart.
They do. They actually lead the world in desalinization. That means they take the salt out of water so it's drinkable. Something that all the Arab world could use, but obviously they're not going to fucking, When you talk about wind, Israel also thermonuclear. Israel is an innovator when it comes to renewable energy. Israel, they literally innovate. Like I will say that about Israel.
Yeah, dude, they're like they're like $1 billion fucking GDP, bro. In the middle of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Musk, I don't understand his whole thing about like, we should have more people. It's like, there's room. Of course there's room. It's not about room. It's about resources. We don't have the resources. We have the room. We just don't have, I read the other day where what do they call it? The groundwater? We've already like sucked out all the groundwater that we can possibly use. There's just not enough rain falling for like all your kids. It's all about you, Candace.
Thank you. It's interesting because I just kind of read.
And that's
this
where
whole book
desalinization
debunking all
comes
of
in.
that, which I feel like in 2 years, you're gonna have a totally different perspective on all that. Because
Well-
I've seen your growth and where you were a few years ago to where you are now.
No,
And, Elon Musk, I think, is
I like
probably
this
pretty
part, too.
educated about the planet,
No, he's not.
well,
resources. What do you think?
no.
Yeah, he knows how to extract resources from the planet because his parents were fucking miners in South Africa. But renewable,
Oh, yeah.
forget about it, bro.
He took over the band too. Made the mine for him.
Mm.
Not if you, not either of you, if you think that we can somehow keep putting people on the planet which has a finite amount of resources. Oh, look, there's my zucchini that I gave to, I was looking for that. Look at that thing.
Did you grow that?
I did, and I gave it to,
Watch football all season long. Live and cable free.
Vivek, when he was here a couple of
He
weeks
didn't
ago.
take it.
He didn't take it,
Yeah.
unless he took it and they put another one just like it in there, but I don't think that, let me see.
Yeah, he was probably
Remember that.
giving the zucchini to Vivek in order as a way of telling him to go fuck himself. Let's keep it 100. It's like, here, Vivek, here's the zucchini. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, why would you give another man a zucchini?
I wanna
That doesn't even make sense. That's like the online. Isn't zucchini like the online thing you put for dick?
Yeah.
Like the big zucchini, that's dick.
Eggplant.
Oh, well, same shit.
Same shit. Yeah.
Same shit.
One's got girth, the other's got length.
Yeah.
Even though, look what she's holding. That shit is girthy.
And Dano likes both.
I use both emojis.
a really big zucchini.
I told him, I said, you were probably at the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
Well, and this is probably the kind of thing that
I
you,
grow vegetables, and I just want to tell you, maybe he doesn't grow them. That's a very respectable zucchini.
would you like it?
I actually would. I actually love zucchini. So
Maybe to remind you not to get.
I want that. Fuck, no homo. I want that zucchini, bro. You know what I could make with that? Pasta with
Yeah.
pasta with butter, sausage, zucchini, and sun-dried tomatoes.
Italians love zucchini.
I love zucchini. You know, roast zucchini, put some tomato sauce on it. you
Yeah,
know,
it's named. The Italians named it, bro. Zucchini.
Yeah.
Italiano.
Or now we're gonna leave it there, we're gonna wind up staying there again.
No, I won't leave it. I
Okay,
actually love
great.
zucchini.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, this is my favorite. I actually did cucumbers this year, and I got some pretty big cucumbers, but they're wretched to grow.
Cucumbers suck.
They just kind of grow
It's
out.
almost a shame to have to cut into that, but you do.
Yeah, you do.
You gotta,
Yeah.
but don't you not believe like in the moon landing? So I'm supposed to believe you about climate?
I think it's so funny how people take, well, first off, I know what I'm talking about with the climate stuff, so I'm just gonna go ahead and promote.
Why are
it.
you not looking at them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you should probably realize, like, that there is, in the same way that
It
there
is
are
weird, yeah.
you're now more awake to, the climate hoax is one that runs trillions of dollars, and
Okay.
we are not running out of space.
Oh God.
Climate.
Like New York City.
Oh, God.
The climate hoax.
The point is that hurricanes are down. The whole idea that every time it rains.
Hurricanes
because
are
the
down,
natural
folks.
climate is happening.
Folks, hurricanes are down.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean
No,
that the
hurricanes that hit us are down. Hurricanes are, in general are up.
well, I don't know. There seems to be less like big hurricanes, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be more.
Hit us, bro.
I mean, what was the last big hurricane that hit anywhere, bro?
Every like 2 weeks now you hear development in the tropics, development in the tropics, development. You used to never hear that.
Nah, it was always like that. Remember, we would have like 3 different hurricanes a year.
We had one really bad year. That was Wilma.
I don't remember when was that. I don't remember that. I remember, bro. Katrina was kind of bad too.
Not for us. It was bad for New Orleans. When we got Katrina,
but
that one.
it still hit us, bro. Like I remember when I was living in fucking downtown, all the fucking buildings, the fucking windows got busted after Katrina. You remember that, right?
Plywood. My mom put plywood when Katrina first passed on the window. And we were straight.
For real?
Yeah. And it was like,
Yeah.
dog, yeah, dude. Like Katrina didn't even flood. Wilma was bad. Everything was underwater at Wilma. Everybody was having a time of their life too, just stealing, bro, during Wilma. Like Wilma was bad.
Oh yeah, you mean the one that happened recently?
No, that was when I was like 12. It was 18 years ago, dog.
I don't know if I was even in Miami then, bro.
Yeah, that was a Cat 3. That's the worst I've ever seen.
No, don't you remember? Oh no, but it didn't hit us directly, bro. It was a Cat 4. But it actually landed at fucking Fort Myers or some shit area.
It went left at the Irma.
Yeah. That was my grandma's name, bro. That one was kind of bad.
That was a bad one, but we didn't feel it.
Yeah, barely.
But
It's like, it's okay.
What I will agree with you on is this. The environmentalists do often lie because they have this idea, this issue is so important, and by the way, it is so important, that it's okay if we shade the truth to get people on our side, and I don't agree with that.
That's not true.
Not every time.
Well, not every time.
What was your climate disaster growing up? Mine was global warming. They don't even say it anymore.
They don't say global warming
No,
anymore?
they don't. No, they say climate change. They went from global
Maybe not in
cooling.
your
They
bubble,
went
but
from
in the world they
No,
do.
they don't. They went from global cooling to global warming.
They never were in global, no one was ever talking global, it was one, that's such a stupid talking point that you keep repeating, it's a zombie lie. It was one article in one magazine in one day 1 week in Newsweek or something. Nobody was talking about global cooling. Yes,
Yo.
we understand that the planet.
He's right. Remember that episode of Bill? And he brought on the dude that wrote the article about global cooling.
Yeah.
Fire. Classic Bill episode. But there
That
was
was
a
fun.
theory that like Al Gore had that was like there's like flow of water under like deep in the ocean. And like climate change could have disrupted it and sent there was a chance that Europe would go into an ice age.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this is not we're just gonna get hot as fuck and everything's gonna go underwater.
Yeah, and then the Albanians just take over.
Yeah.
It is always changing. That's a different story.
There was a whole climate alarmism via the IPC for global cooling.
No, there wasn't.
Okay. There was.
But do you believe people landed on the moon?
Well, let's just back
Because
that
if
up
you don't,
because
then I think that's
no.
I think that
You are
really sets a
taking-
standard for this
You are
discussion.
taking something that was a Twitter
You can't answer.
joke. I'm getting into your question, but I'm just trying because I think you should add context because what you're
Yo, Candace doesn't believe we went to the moon, dude.
discussion about
doesn't?
climate change and the hoax.
No,
People fearful.
I forgot.
And you're like, well, didn't you once tweet when I said, literally, I said in the tweet, let's have some fun today. What is one conspiracy theory that almost got you and that you think like could possibly be real? And I said the one that always gets me every time is the moon landing. How come we haven't gone back? So you're taking this one tweet where people then shared the things that they think that were not really serious or political on this long thread to now apply to a conversation about climate change.
Okay, but just to be
Feels a
clear,
little like,
people did land on the moon.
I don't know.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know.
I do know.
I just want to know why we didn't go back.
We did go back
What, did we go back? What
to
year?
the moon.
With people on the moon?
Okay.
I'm asking
Now
a serious
who's
question. When did we go back? When did we
first
go back
landed-
on the moon?
Okay.
69, okay.
July 20th, 1969.
Yeah.
We went back like 10 more times.
Who went back? Who walked on the moon?
America, you know.
No, but like, what were the astronauts' names? Educate me. Why are you?
Fuck remembers what the astronauts' names were.
It's a pretty big deal to walk on the moon.
The first guy, and then after that, yes.
Who else walked on it?
I
How
don't
many?
remember the name. Like another dozen. Yeah,
Okay, about another dozen humans walked on the moon?
yes, Americans, all Americans.
Okay, we don't know.
We kept going back.
Is that true, bro?
Uh,
Because that puts this discussion to rest.
Yeah, bro, we did like 7 missions, Apollo, to the moon after the first one that we landed.
Oh, all right. This is stupid. Yeah, all right. Can we put the moon landing shit to rest? I didn't even know that, Loki.
Yeah, bro, we're at the moon until like the mid 70s, bro.
I didn't know 12 people walked on the moon. I just thought it was like 2 people.
We went to the moon till like 73, 75, I think was the last one, or 74, or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't gone back though. That is weird.
It's the 70s.
We gotta go back.
2 people, it's like, 12 people, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Because there's weird shit, bro. Like, they claimed that, like, they gave the prime minister
You don't know that famous image of Nixon watching the fucking latest moon landing? And it's literally, they got a fucking, like the moon thing that looks, it's like a golf cart, and they start playing golf on the moon.
No.
Yo, pull that clip up. Golf on the moon.
Nixon golf on the moon?
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
Well, we can't understand a damn thing they're saying.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they play golf on the moon, basically.
yeah. But Candace is straight debate lore. Though,
He's what?
great debate lore. Like she, like, oh yeah, what were the people's names that have been on the moon? It's like,
Yeah, dude, that's her fucking living, dude.
it's like, it's just noyosísima,
She's
know,
just a good-looking fucking
obnoxious bitch.
obnoxious hoe, but
Apollo
very entertaining.
was the one they made the movie about. That was the one they aborted, but that was after we had landed. Apollo 11, I think, was.
I'm not talking about space missions. I'm talking about actual people.
Yes, landing on the moon and walking on it. First of all, it is an impressive scientific feat. It's not out of the realm of like, how could that possibly happen? It's only 250,000 miles away. They had figured out enough to be able to do it, even with these shitty computers that they had in 1969. Yes, it's risky, and we did lose people doing it. But we did do it. I mean, plainly. I mean, the idea that you could think that this was some sort of hoax, I'm sorry, but it colors everything else.
I'm just saying that, like, I'm just not, like, I feel like you're just trying to find this. I've never talked about this on my show. You're literally talking about one funny tweet.
It's relevant.
It's really
It's
not
relevant
about
that
this.
you won't say,
No, I just-
absolutely, people walked on the moon. It's relevant.
I feel that you are finding an angle here to try to talk about something that I've never talked about on my podcast. I've
No.
never talked to people on a debate. I've
It's
never
out
talked about
there. I
on
read
a
it.
college. You probably had a producer dig up what you thought were
There's
the
no pro-
most absurd tweets.
Uh,
Like, there's no way it's how
Candace,
you're
I
saying it's
promise
how
you.
there's articles about this. It's so obscure that it's like literally. I mean, it said like, let's have some fun. What are some of the
Candace,
things that?
I-
What are some conspiracy
okay.
theories that you read
I
that you
pro-
have questions about? And I was like, the moon landing.
First of all, I promise you, there is no production on this
It's
show. No,
a pretty neat thing. Of
This
all
is-
the things I
this is
talk
the
about and I
production.
know for, but there wasn't even an article written about this about me.
I wasn't
I
planning.
think she wants to fight. I'm gonna keep it 100, bro.
No, but you know what? It should be on an application if you're about to go on a serious show. It's like, all right, before we book you for this political whatever, we need to know, do you think the moon landing's real?
Yeah.
You answer yes to that question, you're on the show. You answer no, it's like, we're not gonna have he's right.
Yeah.
But he has to interview her because she's Candace Owens.
She's got the internet by the balls.
Because
You saw it on Twitter?
I got here, but somehow I knew it.
But how?
Because it's up there.
But
Because
it's
I've
I
read
didn't know the P. Like, it's so obscure. It's so niche that I'm just like curious.
I don't think that's the case, because I think I read it in the Vanity Fair article about you.
No,
No?
nope.
Well, I
That's what I
read it
mean. It's
somewhere.
not even relevant for, like, I've never ever had a
Well,
single
that-
person
well, then I
sit
don't-
down and ask me this question.
But
I'm
I've
just
done
like,
America a service, because
Okay.
we find the baseline of your thinking. I'm sorry, but that is relevant, that you don't think men landed on the moon.
no, I just said I would, but first off,
He's pro-Israel, but I might have to start watching Bill again.
Uh,
Yo,
Bill's-
he's cooking, baby. He's cooking. Yo. Yo, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna say? It's like, come on.
let's watch, bro.
I
See what the fuck she says.
You don't know?
I want to know why. And I think even Elon Musk said this in his timepiece.
Ask him about it.
Yeah,
ask him
I
about
think
the
he did address it in his
I
timepiece.
think he probably believes it.
But I'm just not interested in this topic like at all. So it's just
Okay.
like you just came in so fiery about something that I am not known for. That was like an
Okay.
obscure
I don't
tweet
want-
of like,
I don't want-
let's have some fun. And it was in a joking manner. And suddenly you're
Sorry.
like,
Okay.
how could you not believe the moon landing? And I'm
So
like,
I
the
do believe that.
energy is.
Okay.
The energy. Oh,
I don't want this to be.
going to go.
No, it was just
If we
surprising.
got on to global warming,
Well, that's something that
I wouldn't have
believe, so
thought the
I'm okay
moon.
to have this
No,
topic,
but I connected it to that because it was like, okay. if-
but I'm in the public sphere talking about that. I've had experts on my show talking about, like, Gregory Weinstein talked about his book about the climate change hoax. I care deeply about that because of the implications and how the climate change hoax and the trillions of dollars that are basically disappearing for things like Paris Accord agreement. Like, I'm on very much on record and
Okay, but
sincere
not to
talking
beat it,
about
not to
that.
beat a dead horse, but if you think the moon landing is a hoax, it colors my view of what you think of the global warming being a hoax.
Okay.
So let's.
But I never said the moon landing is a hoax.
Well, you
I
said
said,
you.
name one conspiracy theory.
No,
that
I asked your
that
point.
almost got you.
I
I said, I don't know anything about, I don't know anything about, I can't even debate you, you're speaking to me, that's fine.
This is good entertainment, baby.
I keep a very, I think that there's one thing that people say about me is I don't come into conversations about things that I don't know. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be an
But
expert on the moon landing,
you're such a brilliant
but
person.
on things that I actually
who's
know.
read
So I'm
about
willing,
Well,
I'm willing to, because I don't care.
Would you read about
I
it?
literally don't, it's to me,
Would you
it's
read about
totally
it?
inconsequential for the work that I do. Yeah, I would. That's why I said fun thread. Tell me this, like we were like, tell me what's one conspiracy theory that you believe that we can look into. I mean, we really should pull the tweet because it's weird that that you're making this so severe as if I was like on a talk show debating the moon landing. And so what I'm saying is I've
She's
never
like-
cared about
Because
this.
it's an undebatable
It's
topic. that
completely
you're
like, if you
making
want to.
debatable. You're making it debatable
I don't think
by,
anyone watching this will think that I made this topic debatable. I think you've made this very debatable. I told you was I sent a funny tweet and it's a pretty obscure tweet that's never been
how's life in,
ever discussed before
how's life
today.
in Nashville? Nashville's real, right?
Nashville is a real place and I love Nashville. It's really great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just in Austin.
He's switching. It's like you're
I feel
retarded.
like
I can't.
Austin and Nashville are the
Let
two
me just ask you
places
about Nashville.
where the liberal diaspora, shall we call it, liberals who want to get away, and I certainly understand why. I live here in California. It is a ridiculous state that drives you insane.
Liberals don't
I
want to
totally
get
get it.
away from this.
I'm too dug in here to make a change. And where else would I find Club Random? But I get it. I feel like those are the two places they go. They go to Austin and they go to Nashville.
Yeah.
Because you're not really out in the sticks. I mean, Austin's a pretty liberal town. And any city is blue, right? Okay. So you're out of like the fire, but you didn't go to the frying pan. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, for us, we were also between Texas and Tennessee for sure. We were probably between Chattanooga and Dallas. And we decided on Nashville because I think a lot more opportunities were happening. There was a lot of LA people coming, starting studios. Daily Wire moved their studio from LA to Nashville. So it felt like the right place. And I think at that time I was having kids. So you sort of naturally crave the suburbs when you have kids, obviously, like the whole
And also,
New York.
by the way,
city.
if I was a parent, well, first of all, there'd be unholy hell if I was a parent, because we're gonna be on the same page on this shit. Some of the stuff that goes on in the schools is just so cray-cray, and I would not be able to keep my mouth shut about it. So I'm sure a state like Tennessee does not have laws that some of the blue states do, where like the parents are not allowed to be notified by the school. They're actually prohibited if the kid changes their gender. Like they say that would be outing the student to a parent.
Right.
Outing is a word we even use in connection with a parent. Shouldn't everything be out to the parent?
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm singing from your hymnal now.
Am I allowed to have an opinion on this or?
I know, I'm just trying to think up to my profile with the moon.
I just don't care. I'm just being honest with you. I don't care about that at all. I literally nothing about it, and I wouldn't have ever picked a debate with somebody about something that I just don't care about. But this I care deeply about. And this is what I do a lot of, work in the space of talking to parents and understanding how we've become so removed from our own children systematically. And you're right that places like LA and New York have become these major hubs where the state has gone too far. And I do a lot of work on other stuff too that you would think is weird, and vaccine stuff for parents and kind of giving them a guide.
No, I'm with you there.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that. And I produced an entire separate series talking about vaccines and sort of the increase. And
Well, I don't
when
think
I was a kid,
I don't think vaccines are a hoax or anything, right? I just
not a hoax.
Okay.
But
But-
do your kids need from
Right.
1982
No, they don't.
to 75?
I mean, my view, just to be clear, vaccines are a tool in the medical kit, just like antibiotics.
Right.
And just like antibiotics, I wouldn't want to be told everyone's taking them, so you have to
Right.
too.
Yeah,
Like,
one
if
size fits all.
If I decide I need one for a certain pathogen and I'm at a place in my life where I think that playing the odds, which is what medicine always is, that would be the smart thing. Okay. but forcing it and the children who never needed it for this, who
Yeah.
the least likely.
And they're so sick. The kids have never been sicker. And that,
Right,
I
never
start
been
my
sicker.
series by asking, these kids have never been more vaxxed. We're the most vaxxed country in the entire world. You know, we have these high
That's not
infant
true.
mortality rates when weighed against third world countries. And you're being told that this is because we're super healthy. You got kids 75 vaccines. When I was a kid, it was 12, you know, and there's been an explosion. People don't even know anything about the diseases. It's just these constant fear campaigns. And then on top of that, in states like LA, you can't opt out. You know, so these are things that parents have to think about now, where you're literally raising your kids. Could you go to prison for saying that I don't want my child referred to as a different gender
Right.
behind my back? Yes, depending on where you live, they're trying to criminalize you being a parent. And then you add that to the, you know, medical complex, and maybe you say, you know, I'm not afraid if my kid gets chickenpox. I got chickenpox, get chickenpox parties. Can't do that in LA. You can't do it in LA. If you're a doctor and you say, oh, this parent didn't want their child to get the chickenpox vaccine, you'll be your license taken away in a place like LA. I don't think parents realize why that's so scary. Not necessarily, we can argue all day. You can call me anti-vax, or I can call you pro-vax. But as parents, we should be able to make decisions for our children. I don't fear the
Okay,
chicken.
when it comes to vaccines, she's dead wrong. But in the classrooms, like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Come
You
on.
can't have your kid running around unvaxxed for some disease, bro. Like, sorry.
I mean, come on, bro. Even hookers have kids, bro.
No. That's just irresponsible, I feel
No, that's how you build character, bro. With meningitis.
like.
Come on, bro. Stop. You're taking away valuable life experiences. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I mean, yes, I would really not go over well in today's world if I was a parent. I would just be in fights and it would just be ugly. And then my kids, my hat is off to anyone who is a parent today, because
Where's
I
the-
honestly feel it has never been harder to be a parent, because you're not allowed to boss them
Yo, I
around.
gotta piss, doggy.
What's the fucking point of having kids
Alright.
if they can't?
In pausa. Folks, this is a Bill is snapping. He's making good points. I'm watching a review for the new iPhone Zoom, and wow. The Zoom is crazy. I just watched this dude was on the third deck of a football match, and you would think he was right next to the player, like it was from a football field's length away, you know, at least 1080p. But Gaffante. But yeah, Bill's cooking this episode. That should be a standard question. Do you believe in the moon landing? I feel like he's right. You can judge a lot about a person just off that. Yeah, who's making a Smercante?
What?
And yeah,
Can't boss them around. And also, how could you possibly control a feral little monster like that if you couldn't boss them
I
around?
know,
It's insane that they treat them like they're just short people.
like, yeah, adults, and that's weird too. I was actually talking to somebody that was here before you came in here about sort of the LA spell, because there's something weird about parents in this particular bubble, this particular part of LA where they think that the children are adults. I don't understand. You know, we don't want to tell our child no. I met a parent that said that. We don't believe in telling our child no. And I just said, okay, well,
Right.
he rapes someone, 13. And he says, my mom never taught me the word no. There were no boundaries.
Right.
I mean, whose fault is that going to be? I mean,
No.
it's,
This country
No,
reminds me of like a.
I mean, yeah, bro.
Where a
no,
5-year-old
that's not how that. No.
ascends to the throne.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
parent-
no, because the truth is, these yuppie fucking parents have yuppie kids, and then their biggest crime is, oh my god, I want to switch my gender.
Yeah. You won't let me switch my gender.
Uh,
Yeah.
you're terrible.
Have to pretend that whatever brain
sort of
fart,
like here.
whatever brain fart comes out of the mouth of this 5-year-old toddler, yes, is something that we have to
Profound.
take seriously
Uh-huh.
and treat as valid and debatable. That's what this country is.
That is very
Right.
accurate. That was a very incredible analogy. Pockets of the country, though, I would say. Pockets, particularly here.
Right.
You don't see that stuff in Tennessee. Like, it is,
Well, that's the.
yes, ma'am, no, sir. You know what I mean? And they don't play around with that stuff. And
That's
that's what I love about
And
this.
that's why I completely understand why people move to places like Austin and Nashville.
Yeah.
And this is what they.
Yeah.
When I did my editorial about.
Cannoli boys are gonna check it out. Cannoli boys are doing a
We
tour.
gotta leave. Yeah.
Cannoli boys are doing a tour. We're checking out.
Yeah, we're moving to
Chicago.
Pyongyang, North Korea.
We're checking out Chicago. We're checking out Austin. How you doing,
Done.
Cannoli?
Which, I feel like, again, a great demarcation between what liberal is, old school liberal and woke. Liberal believes trans is, of course, a real thing, and they should be protected and respected. Woke is like, well, before they can like tie their shoe, we tell them they very likely might be in the wrong body.
I ran your segment on my podcast yesterday.
Oh, great.
Baka.
Talking about, okay, this is a real thing.
Why is
Sort of
it
showing
regional?
Geography.
Why is it regional?
Brilliant point.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Why is
It's
it so
brilliant.
regional? Is it the water here in California?
It might be.
I've been to dinner parties, more than one, where there's 12 people and they're all talking about their trans kids. It's almost like that's the.
Oh God, that must be a nightmare. What party is? What did he say that he'll go to a party?
A dinner party and 12 of them, and they all have trans kid.
He's got to be exaggerating.
All talking about their.
I
trans
mean,
kids.
yeah, you like
Where there's 12
a
people
little
and
circle, maybe.
they're all, it's almost like that's the.
No way, that's
And
real.
that can't really be the norm. I mean, I get it that things happen in nature. Mix up at the factory, whatever you wanna call it.
A mix up
Nature,
at the fact.
I know the religious people like to call it.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
It's not that.
Yeah, bro, it's like what Bill talked about on his show once. This is
What?
literally the gayest generation. It's like multiplying exponentially.
I get things happen sometimes, mix up at the factory. Whatever you want to call it.
What?
You just hear him always like talking about it. He's like, no, I'm not saying that those things don't happen. Those things sometimes happen. It's nature. Sometimes there's a mix up in the factory. Listen.
You wanna call it, no. Get it that things happen in nature. Mix up at the factory, whatever you wanna call it, nature, I know the religious people. They say intelligent design. It's not that intelligent in a lot of ways. I mean, in a lot of ways, it is. The human body is the way we're built and the way we, like phlegm, I feel like. It's very often unnecessary, it only makes things worse. I wish I could talk to my own body and say, we don't need this phlegm.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to help, but you're not really helping because I don't think it's stopping.
Yeah.
I think it's giving a place for the bacteria to nestle in.
Right. Well, actually, it's funny because I'm not gonna.
It's like, well, up a bunch of flippers.
Reading this,
I don't know what causes it.
Yeah.
I can't figure out what makes
but
it cause.
there must be something objectively good about phlegm. And now I'm interested, and this is the kind of random things I'll research on the internet, like what actually is the purpose of phlegm? But there was a Real Housewife, and I will not name her because I got in trouble on YouTube for talking about it, even though she talked about it first and came out and said she's got 4 kids, dad's a doctor, brilliant doctor, but Beverly Hills. So, yeah,
Right.
here we go. There you go. So how brilliant can you really be? And especially now that doctors are with different sexes, and they've got like 2 non-binary children, 1 gay child and 1 trans child.
Right.
It's
Say that slower.
2 non-binary children.
Non-binary,
Yeah.
meaning,
They are not bound to any sex. I
how
think,
old are they?
all of these children are like 12, maybe 15 and under.
So non-binary, would that be the same as bisexual?
I'm not sure, and I don't want to get us into trouble because these definitions change and they're fluid, and the second you don't get the updates
The
to your
children are
phone.
fluid too.
Yes, and
Everyone's
but
fluid.
also a trans child and like a gay child, and I'm like, this is a statistical impossibility, obviously. And they kind of come out and said, obviously, this is a statistical impossibility, something's going on in your house, and I'm gonna guess it's a lack of parenting, right? Because these are just things, I didn't graduate high school with a single effing non-binary child, so this is made up, right?
Right.
And you're telling me all of your children have this thing that didn't exist when I was in high school, 2007, but now all of your children are suffering from this thing, you know? And that's kind of, I think, the litmus test for me is like, okay, if this is a real thing, why did this just not exist at all when I was in school? And it's not like they're playing catch up. It's not like now suddenly kids are going back from my high school class and saying I'm trans. They're not. We had gay kids, a couple of lesbian kids, you know, and everyone else was, you know, that was it, you know. So now we've got so many options to choose from the infinite alphabets community.
With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for convenient meals for a jam-packed day. Have something ready in just 2 minutes. So
Oh
all you
yeah, yeah.
have is fresh and inch meals at premium 30 us head to them field.
Bill, reading ads is kind of funny sometimes though.
From the small business owners growing their team to the HR directors hiring people across the nation, thing that ends up with your job. Recruiter, grow your business. From audience to vein, to Preplet and what we have in common. Like, we both say things that make people on both sides mad. We say some things they like and some things they don't. But when we're in agreement about something, I think people feel the same about me in this way. Like when they do agree, it's like that person really, I mean, rubs my clit on that. The way they do that, they really, I just love you so much when you go off on something that deserves to be gone off on.
Yeah,
And I feel like people feel that way.
they do.
Like when I go off on something and it deserves that ass kicking and you do it, I mean, you're funny. You have I saw you doing the Eminem thing. Like, you were making fun of all his
I
moves.
just don't know what happened.
I know, but it was really funny. I mean, the way you just like, and I like Eminem, but
I
you
did too.
made him look ridiculous.
It doesn't predict. He's now just I mean, you met Vivek Ramaswamy. It's like you're picking on
What'd you say about Eminem?
He is?
That's what I was missing.
What would she say about
You're
Vivek?
picking on like Vivek Ramaswamy. I mean, you met.
Alright, so she did some skit where she was like mimicking Eminem's hands motions. I've never seen the skit.
No way. We gotta see that. Pull that clip up. The fuck? Andiamo ragazzi.
I mean, I've become a loser over the years. Those are the facts. But
What did she? Hold on, where's? I don't know what skit they're talking about. God, so My views too.
Vivek Ramaswamy. It's like you're picking on like Vivek Ramaswamy.
He is?
That's what I was mimicking him
He
because
was talking about Trump nuking the world.
yeah, I was going back and just showing how the fall of it now. But the segment that I was doing was just about like he keeps doing this. We get it. You don't like Republicans, you don't like conservatives, but what
Right.
Vivek did was so harmless. I mean, he was in front of like 6 kids rapping.
Follow full screen, Kafanga.
Right.
What?
Follow full screen, Kafanga.
Oh, yo, my bad.
It advised Vivek when he was here.
Stop rapping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you can't buy love, but you can print it. That's why Vistaprint has up to 50% off custom calendars in a variety of sizes.
That is not no, really, right? It's just not a good look.
It's Vivek, he reminds me so much of that character from Mean Girls. He's like a true academic, high achieving, nice
Which
guy.
girl?
Have you ever seen Mean Girls?
Of course.
Mathletes.
Monthly. Okay, right.
And then there's the Indian guy who raps on stage and he's like, suck it, MCs ain't got nothing on me.
But he's cooler than that.
He's cool. Yeah, the guy's cool. But he's
Right.
like, he's a high achieving mathlete who also likes hip hop. He's into
Right.
different things. And I loved having Vivek on my show. I thought he was super inspirational. I like that he kind of has been staying above the fray because I'm super fatigued with politics right now.
Well, he's a lot more on your page with some of these issues like global warming
Right.
than I am. So,
Yeah.
you know, I find
He's
him,
brilliant.
as I said to him, I find you very disarming and also alarming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's me, and I think some of it is performative. He will not admit that he wants to be the vice president, but of course Trump is going to be the nominee. So they're only running for vice president at this point. Would you not agree?
No. Obviously, Ron DeSantis is not going to be Trump's vice president. Right? Absolutely
Sure.
not. Nikki Haley
He's
is not running.
44. Why wouldn't he take that? Of course.
Oh, no, he won't. No, he won't. They hate each other.
You
Nikki
think,
Haley's not running to be
Excuse
vice
me,
president.
you think that Lyndon Johnson and John F. Kennedy didn't hate each other? You think hating someone is disqualifies you to serve
No.
with them as vice
No, I
president?
can see
It's
Tim
practically
Scott.
a qualification.
I can see Tim Scott doing the VP thing, but I think they're all after something else. Because you can also run to get your name out because you want to run again in 4 years. You're just kind of testing the water. Vivek's young enough that the VP office doesn't seem
Okay.
for me to be his goal. I could be wrong.
But if I could go back just to the VP thing, only because like I've watched a little more history because you're so young.
So young.
So
Almost in
young.
the left of the moon landing.
So the what? What happened? I doubt it.
Child.
But like usually, I'm telling you, the vice president and the president hate each other because they just ran against each other.
Yeah.
And the guy picks as the vice president very often the person who is kind of the runner-up, who wants to bring in that coalition, and also the guy who like sort of fits the thing that he doesn't do. George Bush picked Dan Quayle because like I'm old and experienced, and this little boy,
Yeah.
they used to have him on Saturday Night Live as like a child.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I think they all, you don't think Nikki Haley?
No, I think she's going for like if she's running to secure wealth because she started her career.
To do what?
Well, she was like millions of dollars into debt, right? And now she's got money pouring into her coffers. I think they all have incentives, and I'm not saying any of them are pure, but I think they're different incentives. I think Nikki is motivated by money, and I think that she, like Vivek said on stage, is actually looking for a deal with like Raytheon or something.
This is how much they all want it though. I noticed many of them purposely, I'm sure they know better, mispronounced Vivek's name.
They did.
Just to get the idea, this person, foreigner, funny name, Vivek, is it?
Vivek,
Vivek, what is your, but when Nikki Haley did it, fellow Indian American, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Nikki, not you.
I know.
You don't know how to say his name?
I know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. How did you think she did?
As good as she could, as good as you could do in that format. I thought look, it's gonna be Trump and whoever he wants.
Like Pence obviously isn't running to be vice president, right?
Right.
See, they all have different reasons
Right.
they're running.
Now, he might be deluded enough to think that Jesus will decide it should be him, and that's really what he thinks makes the difference in the world is what Jesus decides. I mean, I remember having a discussion with the old dorm room bullshit session with my sophomore roommate and we talked about, I forget what the issue was for like 2 hours. And finally he just said, well, because I think Jesus Christ will come down and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why did I waste 2 hours if that's what you really think about how this issue is going to get resolved? Jesus Christ is going to come down and do this and ABC. And I think that's Mike Pence.
You think Mike Pence is running because he thinks Christ ordained him?
I think he's running because he thinks it's in God's hands and he's a very good friend of God. And that it doesn't look good right now, but Jesus can perform miracles because we know that because of bread and loaves and, stuff walking
I take it you're a devout atheist.
devout.
Okay, gotcha. I think probably Pence is running because he doesn't know what to do next. He ran a state, became the vice president. What's the next natural progression is to be president? And also because he wants to separate his brand from Trump, which I think he feels like got murky and there's some genuine bad blood there. And so
There's definitely
bad blood, yeah, but I don't think any of them are running to be Trump's VP because they all trashed him on the stage. But Bacon's the only one Trump would consider.
Trashed him.
Trump.
He kissed his ass.
Trump?
Yeah. The only one who trashed him was Chris Christie.
Chris Christie trashed him. DeSantis said nothing. To be fair, DeSantis didn't say anything all night.
They all raised their hand when they said if
DeSantis did the.
Well, okay, but they raised their hand, except for Christie, when they said, would you support him as the nominee? I mean, that's pretty amazing for a guy who's, probably going to be convicted for what he should be convicted for. And I'm sure we agree on this, Candace.
Definitely sure we agree on this.
About, trying to overthrow the government of the United States.
You're just not you're not a weak enough person to really I don't buy this. I think you dance this way because you think you have to placate.
Okay, first of all,
No chance.
just
you
to
think that we
educate.
almost lost America on January 6th. I just don't.
She's so stupid. She's literally retarded. And most people are retarded. I gotta go take a piss, but before I go take a piss, I'll say this. I always ask this question to people. If the Trump supporters had succeeded, say they
Yes, our
succeeded,
life wouldn't be normal.
what
Yes.
what do you think your life would be like the next day? And most people are retarded. They go, I'm gonna to work. I'm like, no, work is canceled. It's my birthday, no one. She said, yeah, your birthday's canceled. You don't get it. Yeah. That's literally America to Haiti overnight.
To Haiti.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta take a piss. Hold on.
Yeah, ragazzi.
Mercante.
It's Metacaca.
Don't buy that you're that soft.
Yeah, I do. And just to educate you a little on this, I was saying this for 5 years when everyone was laughing at me for saying this, that Trump would never concede the election and he would never go away. I was all alone on a raft.
But I mean, you saw BLM riots, right?
Yeah,
The summer leading up to this, right? Where like I lived in DC at this time, where you couldn't go outside, cars were flipped, things were burned, people
Yeah.
were boarding up their windows. But you thought the end of democracy, you could say this meaningful debate happened when people above the age of like 65 stormed the Capitol. Like you thought that was the worst thing you've ever seen in America.
Above the age
Well,
of
I mean,
65, she's
what was the
tripping.
worst thing? That was a small part of the bigger picture. The worst
Yeah, the
thing
QAnon shaman was ripped, bro. He looked tactical.
that we've had, nobody ever did this, not Al Gore and not Nixon, who probably didn't actually lose their elections. They allowed this peaceful transfer of power to happen. We finally had a guy who decided, of course, because he's insane, decided that no matter what happens, I won this election. There's only two things that could possibly happen. I win the election, or if I don't win the election, there must have been some cheating. It was looked at by his own people around him, including the Homeland Security Department, including the Director of National Intelligence, including every court, federal and state, including his own lawyers, his daughter, Bill Barr. Everybody told him, you lost this election. They looked at this over and over again. Even the Republican vote counters, like the one he called who said, find me 11,000 more votes. Even those people told him. So plainly, he did not accept losing the election, and then he tried to put in a bunch. This is why he's on trial. It's not for lying.
That day, at the media presenter, talking about media hoaxes.
I give you my answer. It's not just that day, although that was part of the scheme. I mean, it's not like coincidence that they showed up on the very day that they were certifying the vote at the very place they were doing it to stop that from happening.
And
That's not a
did you have
coincidence.
any questions about why the FBI hasn't been able to find, since we started with media hoaxes? Do you think it's strange that they haven't been able to find who dropped off the pipe bombs the night before? Because I think that's the strangest piece.
What pipe bombs? Oh, this is some
No,
red herring.
No,
bullshit you were-
it's in the news. You can watch the CNN.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
remember
okay.
the night
Well, it's like he's reacting as anyone else would react to somebody who's just like obviously like lying because you can tell they're acting. I mean, you know.
Yeah, for real.
So I mean, it's like she's just annoying.
before on January 5th, there were pipe
Just
bombs
hate her.
set outside of the RNC and the DNC headquarters, right? And this was a part of the whole thing. Bombs were about to go off, but they were able to, get the bombs out. This is why, AOC said should have fled, all this stuff. So I'm asking you, do you have more pressing questions about why they have not been able to find the person that dropped off the
I will have to look into that the way you'll have to look into the moon
Fair.
thing.
Okay.
Because
I think that's a very big piece for a lot of people of just understanding like
yeah, I
what
mean,
actually
no,
happens. on the
as I
internet.
said before, I don't trust the media on anything because they never give you the full story. So I will allow that there could be this element to the story that is part of the story. I don't think it will probably change my mind that Donald Trump would not concede an election, kept saying it was a fake and that he had all these reasons to believe that people had voted, like 10,000. He said to the Raffensperger on the call, Raffensperger actually corrected him and said, you claim that there was 10,000 dead people who voted in Georgia. We looked and we looked and we looked. It was 2. That sums it all up. There was actually 2. Now, he's not on trial for lying. You're apparently allowed to lie to the American people about elections, even though nobody ever really did that before. But okay, he's on trial for breaking specific laws. Forgery.
Well, I mean, he's doing
Forgery.
for Stacey Abrams.
He
contested her
forged.
election and said that it was.
Well, that's
So let's be.
right. Yes, but okay, you're right. I concede.
Okay. Hillary
I-
Clinton took a very long time. I don't think she's
Hillary
still.
Clinton was there before the night was over in her purple suit conceding the election.
She slept in. You're wrong.
No, I'm not
You're
wrong.
wrong. John Podesta came to the podium and said,
It
well,
was before dawn of the next day.
okay, my point is that saying that
Right.
they were.
You
that
lost
they
your
were-
point.
No, I didn't lose my point. My point is that
Well,
you're
you're
saying
more
that.
like Hillary, you were. Hillary conceded as soon as it was obvious that
Okay.
she lost.
The thing that I'm trying to get you to say though, we know that you hate Trump. That has been abundantly obvious.
Yeah,
I
we
actually
do.
think that Trump out of office,
For good reason.
well, was a good thing for your show because it allowed you to.
It's not about my show, Candace.
No.
It's insulting.
No.
It's insulting.
I'm
to-
saying because people that
Well,
weren't
just-
watching your show, that you know, like, you can't
Okay,
say
but-
what sensitive thing.
No, but you keep
I was
implying
saying
that.
people that did not watch your show because there was so much dedication to talking about Trump during those years, then were switched onto your show
Right.
because you moved on, you started talking about other topics that
Can
were
we-
crucial, and I think brought in more of a conservative base.
Can we
That's
just,
not insulting,
can we
is that?
just, yeah, it is. Can we just have this professional?
Well, no, he
Yeah.
bends over for Israel, like we said, bro.
Yeah, he cucked out on that. Like, dude, you're not even gonna have an opinion. Like, you're not gonna let other people have an opinion other than like the fucking no. Let them toss a fucking grenade.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, dude.
It's a mitzvah, not a mine shaft.
But yeah. You see this fucking.
Yo, my bad. I'm gonna order some food, bro. I'm starving.
You ordered food? Yeah, I'm hungry as fuck too, bro. What time is it?
I'm gonna get some Chinese food.
I'm going to a bar and later.
Oh no, but 50-minute delivery? No, fuck that.
I don't know.
Hell no.
I'm just gonna bake some cookies.
Yeah, you're fruity now, huh?
What?
Living in New York so long.
Oi.
Fruity baking cookies. Look at you. I know you did that with Wahab. That's why.
Yeah, this cookie slap with some ice cream. Ooh. Andiamo.
Yeah.
I concede and I believe, you believe everything you said.
Yeah.
Give me the same courage.
I said it. I believe you hate Trump, and
Well,
I
you're
said.
saying I'm doing things for ratings or to bring in a different audience. I never do
I
any,
actually believe that literally amongst my audience is more conservative started watching you post Trump.
yeah,
Myself included.
but that's big.
I think that's
But it's not.
I'm sorry I said you got a bigger audience now.
But-
Like, oh
yeah,
my
but-
God, you got-
But no,
you
it's
were
not,
like
no,
me.
you ascribe a reason to it that's not true. I do have a bigger conservative audience and a less woke audience, probably. More people who are common sense centrist, good, fine. I didn't do it for that reason.
I never said you did it for that
You
reason. I
kind
said,
of implied
I did not imply that.
Okay, fine.
I genuinely meant what I said.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
think-
just say
think
what I
that
really
when Trump
think.
got out of office, you started focusing on different topics other than Trump. People were able to see that,
Well, he
like,
wasn't president anymore, of course.
I'm not faulting you. I'm just making a comment that I think that your audience base has gotten a lot bigger since Trump left office. Some people might even take that as a compliment.
Different.
Crazy, but some
Yeah.
people might take this as a compliment.
Thank you. Well, for that part, yeah.
Yeah, because you're
But-
talking about, like we just talked about, like,
It's- I'm
you know,
not
trans
sure-
kids and
I'm
bringing
not
up
sure-
geography and
right,
things. And I think
right.
that while Trump was in office, and this is not just your show, that it was even my show. I think everything was about Trump. Everything was about Trump.
I agree.
Right, and it wasn't, it's never been that way for any other president, and not everything was about
Other
Obama.
presidents weren't enough like that.
We have definitely, I think, I believe that there, and we can disagree on this. I think that from the second he announced that he was coming down, there was a media obsession with taking him down, like I had never seen. It actually woke me up. I was on the liberal side, and it turned me into a conservative. It was vicious, it was
There-
nasty, it was,
there was,
you
but
think
that-
that he wasn't.
there was,
You
but
didn't
that's it.
participate in that, but
But there
that
was,
Trump was like a avowed racist that was trying to promote the Klansman was
Okay.
a little bit like dramatic, you know?
but that happens with every president and everybody who gets that high up in the tree. You know, when, I don't know how far back it goes, probably to George Washington, when a person is the one who's going to be in power, the people who want to prevent that, who think oppositely of how he thinks or she thinks, yes, that's what they do. They try to
It has
destroy,
never
they
been
didn't try to
more-
destroy Obama.
Not in the way that they come on Trump. You had the Lisa
Oh,
Bloom
please.
period where you had
Candace.
85 million women that came out of the woodwork with allegations. And where were you guys? He's been in the public sphere for the last 30 years. He's had shows. Where were you guys through allegations of Roy Nassar and president? I mean, it was so obviously a ratchet job. And these things matter because it doesn't
Well, one
matter.
of them's
It
on
doesn't
tape.
matter. It doesn't
One of
matter.
them's right from the horse's mouth
One of
saying,
them-
I grabbed pussy.
He didn't say I got pussy. He said, he was talking about groupies. He said they will literally let you do anything, including grab them by the.
He wasn't talking about groupies.
Yeah, he
He never
was.
said that word. He said, when you're a star.
Yes.
That's quite a leap to say, we're just talking about groupies. And by the way.
He didn't say, I grabbed this woman by the P word, and I think that's a part of when I say we have their social media hostess. Just be
He
honest.
said, you can grab them by the pussy. He said, you can grab them by the pussy.
Yeah,
And you can do anything. You can grab
yeah,
them
these
by the
girls, when
pussy.
they see a star, that's literally, by the way, just to be clear, that's a fact.
Just to be clear, you shouldn't do that,
But you
right?
shouldn't, yes, but let's be honest about what he said. This is locker room talk, men talking about, he got a lot of.
That's why we're doing it, folks.
Because of who they are, and they'll let you do anything to them.
But
We do live in this,
just to put it,
What?
That's why we're doing it, folks. We want to be that popular with the ladies, like the president. Hey, Don.
Hey, Don.
women who will quite literally let men, especially now with the birth of OnlyFans and TikTok and the rise of becoming a star, that if you are a star, they will let you do whatever they want. And then the media pretended he said, I personally went in and grabbed a woman by the P word. It's a lot of people talk. Is it crass? Yes. Do women also speak crass when men aren't looking? Yes. I'm very much, I'm not saying this is great.
Tell me what you do to me, Candace. Yeah.
And I would love to hear if my husband was saying this about, but I'm just trying to be rational and not be like me too crazy and acknowledge that both men and women have locker room talk.
I have an important question. Where can I find these women?
I'm sure you've had your fair share still in Los Angeles where everyone's trying to be a star or be in the industry or sleep with a star of women that have thrown themselves on you.
I live strictly for America and what I can
And
do.
Jesus Christ, right?
Well, not Jesus Christ, but I live strictly to educate, and to edutain America. That's where all my energy goes. I wish I had time for some of these diversions.
You know exactly what he
Yeah,
was
right. He probably banged fucking Candace. Low key, bro.
I wish I had time for some of these divergent. He's like,
Yeah, bro. He's trying to switch it up immediately.
yeah.
all of this like rabid feminism. I don't like
I
the
think he
idea
fucked Sage
of-
Sage
well,
Steele.
I actually think it does.
I think he fucked Sage Steele.
Yeah, for sure. He's recently divorced, age appropriate. Yeah. And she was really into him. Yeah, it happened, folks. Yep.
Yeah.
Really bad for relations between men and women to pretend like some things are not abundantly true, that we don't have a culture of groupies and hoes and music videos and
Yes, we
we
do.
do, and it's fine,
Absolutely.
and not every woman is like this, and I
No.
wouldn't love to hear my husband say it, but I also would be like,
Right.
girls are like them.
Right. It's funny that we can admit about men that they're dogs because most of them are.
But we can't admit that girls are sluts.
But we get.
That feels not fair.
Well, I feel fewer women are sluts than males are dogs. Almost.
I learned that you are not on OnlyFans, which is lovely.
But I'm with.
That you're clearly not on.
Yeah, that's not true. Bill, that's another BS. Old gentleman lie.
No. I agree with that. I agree with that. More dudes are dogs than chicks are sluts. Absolutely, I agree with that.
Nah, what about the entire OnlyFans industry, bro?
No, dude, still. It's a microcosm of just like women worldwide. No, dude. No, he's right, yo. Like, yeah, there are chicks that are like promiscuous, but like most chicks, like, they're not like dudes. They're not like constantly looking for new sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Chicks hang on to
dude
it.
pulls up in a Rolex.
Yeah, I mean, there are these
Oh,
like
he's gonna flex.
there are fringe
Flex.
that always happen that get like, but bro, I don't think so. I think Bill's right, though.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
For a certain
No, oh
price.
God, no.
Yeah,
No,
now there's AI OnlyFans, so they're not even real people, and men are giving all their money to it, and it's getting pretty creepy.
How do we do AI OnlyFans?
What?
She said there's AI OnlyFans. We need to look into this. Just
But this could be a source of income.
Brazilian, Puerto Rican, Punjabi hoe.
We need to use it to make the ultimate chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, because think about it. Punjabi, she's cooking good. Brazilian, her ass is on fire. And then Boricuan, her mouth like a vacuum, dog. She ain't gonna fucking let you down, bruh.
I have to select the not made for kids option when I upload this.
Yeah, bro.
Pirlo, take it easy, buddy.
You know that Boricuan gonna give you that mouth azúcar.
Yeah, dude. Yo, where's my blunt? There.
Yeah, I need to meet a Boricuan, hell, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, we need
Boy's
buddy.
struggling out here.
Your boy's struggling too until, well, not really. Not the last few weeks.
Nah, you're done good.
Yeah. Andiamo.
Yeah.
I know that we're always concentrating in this country on how we can help women, and we certainly should. But the truth is, the people who are lost, I mean, they're both lost, everyone's lost.
Yeah,
But the people who are really lost and don't have their shit together are men. I mean, women are killing it in college. They're doing better,
That's true.
or suicide rate.
Yes, they're
Yeah,
more to get.
more
So that
stress.
whole thing, like, oh my god, it's all men running the world. That's kind of BS.
Why men are just lost. I mean, if you can't even be a sleazebag, right? You can't even fucking. I mean, we've given up on like having a healthy relationship, or even the kind of life I've lived, where like I've had healthy relationships but never got married. Okay, I'm not a crazy person, and I'm not an unfeeling person, and everything is very real. We've given up on all that, and now we're just like to degrees of how you're going to like be a John, and you pick. I don't even actually get laid. That's sad. On
It is sad.
So many levels.
Men are struggling. They really are struggling, and I think
Where did this come from? What's your
Yeah,
theory?
men are struggling. Why though? Why? Because of the feminization of our whole society, bro.
True.
It's femmed out.
Bend the fuck up. I want to see what Bill
And
said.
then, but it's like toxically femme. Like we haven't actually adopted the good aspects of women, like being more compassionate, listening to people. Like, no, it's become like you can't speak out. It's all this fucking. Oh my! If you're not fucking, woke or whatever, oh, you're aggressive. Oh, you're crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mm. I feel like, yeah, feminization of our culture is one. And then, like, dude, I feel like because women still want to conveniently live in gender role mindsets, but it's like, yo, more of y'all are fucking getting better jobs than men.
Yeah.
It's like, especially here, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, bro, because they have more education.
Yeah. Yeah.
pornography
Yes.
is really harming men.
Pornography is bad.
It's so available.
That's one. Pornography is bad.
Yes. The
But
Sufis talk
I
about
watch a
this.
little bit of pornography every now and then. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You got to. You got to.
You gotta feed the goose.
Got to feed the goose every now and then.
The
But
goose
like
is
even
wild.
pornography to feed the goose, I feel like is bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I keep it mostly to pictures because
I use pornography to feed the goose if I can't
got
get it.
into my head that yeah, pornography's bad because then you're doing it all the time, bro.
Yeah, dude, I feed the goose with pornography when I can't feed the goose in the shower.
Who feeds the goose in the shower, bro? What are you, 12? You're like
All I have to do is
you're
like, all I
you're
have to,
like sneaking them in your own apartment.
bro. Yo, all I gotta do is like literally just picture a time I had like good sex.
Dude,
in my head.
last time I had sex and one of the best times was in my room, bro, with that black girl.
Yeah.
Took me for a ride, baby.
How you doing?
How you done? The whole fucking mattress was sweaty afterward.
Gotcha. That's why that fungus was in the mattress.
Probably. I got a fungus from fucking. How you done?
Done. How
How you
good?
done?
How good was the
Yo, I'm
pussy?
a fungus fuck champ.
How good was that sex? How good was that pussy? It was fungal.
It was fungal, yo.
You gonna
Yo,
do
but
it?
for real,
Your
though,
mattress
bro, the whole shit was sweaty, dude. It was
Like,
literally like a fucking.
goes, what you gonna do to me? You'll be like, what am I gonna do? Your mattress gonna be fungal.
You're not gonna recover from this one. She
Yeah.
gonna hit your pulmonaries and your penis.
Like, what you gonna do? She's like, what you gonna do to me? I'll make you sweat. Yeah, I'm writing it down. Make your mattress fungal. And yeah,
Your
make your
fingertips.
mattress
Agreed.
fungal.
And when they're introduced too young, it completely establishes their brain pathways in a way that ruins them for life. You know what I mean? It's not, you shouldn't be introduced to that sort of, I don't even want to call it pornography because it's something else now.
I didn't like see porn on my computer until really maybe 5 years ago, because I was kind of afraid. I heard about cookies and like actually knowing what I'm looking
Right.
at.
It's the
And then of
FBI
course, the
watching
first time I saw Pornhub, I was hooked. But like magazines was like always the way it was. And I saw them. There was a big controversy in the 70s when Hugh Hefner had to decide whether he wanted to show pubic hair. They had no pubic hair. You did not see, and this is when they had pubic hair.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he had to decide between that and the American car companies' accounts, which was big, because advertising was a big part of where you made your money in magazines. And Ford and General Motors were not going to advertise in a place that showed pubic hair.
Right.
And then I'm sure they did, probably in the ad.
Probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then I remember Penthouse comes along. I mean, it was basically stills from porn movies.
What decade?
This is probably around 2000, I think, or maybe the 90s, you could see that. I mean, yeah, I think in the 90s, absolutely. There were lots of magazines, Gent and Cherie and We, not that I knew all of them.
Yeah, bro. When I went to when I was a kid at the airports, they would sell porn magazines.
Yeah, they like cover them up, but yeah.
Yeah. It's not like now they don't. Like now, I don't think so. I mean,
Well, they do, but they're all dudes.
you serious or is this like?
Yeah, dude. Because that's what's popular, bro. Playgirl.
Yo, you for real? Is that like?
Yeah, don't you, Dano? Of course. Don't you know everybody's gay?
Oh God, they ruined Playboy.
It's Playgirl now, bro.
Shame.
Yo, did you hear Mia Khalifa, bro, was making fucking content with Playboy, and then she came out about Palestine. Well, she actually went ham too. She was like saying shit about
Yeah,
Hamas.
she went out of pocket. She was like, "Yeah, turn your phone vertical next time you kidnap them or whatever." It's like, all right, Mia, like,
Yeah, Mia was actually she was gobbling all that shit,
yeah,
bro. They canceled her.
yeah. Well, she said a little bit too much.
Yeah, she tossed up a little bit.
I understand. Asking me to condemn Hamas, though?
I mean, you look like you should.
I look like I should, right?
Yeah. That's why people ask you.
I ask you, do you condemn Hamas?
Do you remember 11 September?
But like, I remember you passing the magazine stands in New York when I lived in the, and there was nineties, and there was like dozens of these kind of magazines for very specific kinks. So it was moving toward that direction. And then we come to where every kid has a little computer in their hands. And there's no more plots, and there's no more. I mean, I remember the old porn movie where it was like a Broadway play, except instead of breaking into song, they break into fuck every 15 minutes. But you'd have to kind of wade through the pizza delivery guy, and okay, then finally they get to it. Now it's just right to it, and it is, you're so right. I'm telling you, as someone who's seen the whole arc of it, it's rapey in a way it never was. It's ugly. It's just ugly. It doesn't turn me on.
Yeah, it's deviant. And this is, people are thinking about how it's impacting people in their productive relationships and how they think,
Yes, that is true.
So we've come a very long way, and
It's very haram.
the introduction of pornography as a topic in the school system, which is now a thing, right? Like normalizing pornography. I learned actively in school that you should watch porn, it's super healthy. Well, now this is maybe right before porn became as deranged as it is today. And you're thinking that they're now learning that it's healthy to watch porn. And then when they're exposed to porn, they're watching something that just cannot be good for their neural pathways. Like it cannot be good for their brains to think that this is an homosexual relationship. And for men, obviously women are different biologically. We don't have the same instincts that men have when it comes to sex. And I think, are we allowed to say that? Men and women are different biologically?
No.
No, I did not mean that. We are the same.
We are exactly the same.
But it's rendering them weak. Yeah.
So different.
Yeah, it's rendering them very weak. Self-control, impulse, everything. And then it's incredible when I talk about porn on my podcast, how many men respond and say, like, I've been struggling with this addiction for years.
Yes.
I want help. Men don't talk about this anymore. We're all struggling with this. It's porn is everywhere. I open my Instagram.
Well, I've been struggling with that addiction and I don't want help. Because it's fantastic.
Well, you can lead the charge.
Well, it's not unhealthy to like have a fantasy life with your porn girlfriends or your people in the magazines all those years. I mean, it releases tension. You don't always have a girlfriend.
Yeah, I would push back on that. I think that porn is really unhealthy for men, and I think
any porn.
I think, and I have noticed this, by the way, in speaking to like Dennis Prager, because he grew up in magazines, that the understanding of what it is now. Well, it's just very different.
You know what I find to be the sickest perversion of men?
Dennis Prager, he looks like, look what he said about Dennis Prager.
By the way, in speaking to like Dennis Prager, because he grew up in magazines, that the understanding of what it is now.
He looks like a pervert. About Dennis Prager. He looks like
Prager, because he grew up in magazines, that the understanding of what it is now. Well, it's just very different.
You know what I find to be the sickest perversion of all, and married people admit this. They admit that it's so boring to have sex that they freely think of other people when they're having sex. I find that to be the worst perversion of all. You're basically masturbating inside another human being who you supposedly love more than anybody else.
We were on a guided museum tour. I'm not an art person, but then I found something that spoke to me. Explore over 300,000 travel experiences you'll remember. Do more with Buy a Tour.
While you're thinking about the checkout girl at
Episode of Black Mirror.
What?
Or like an episode of Black Mirror was talking about this, like in the potential for tech to meet that moment where people could be wearing goggles and also having and that could happen.
But essentially you are wearing goggles, but it's inside your head.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't get that thing of like, yeah, that's cool. We have sex and I'm just thinking about anybody but her or him.
Why did you get married?
That's why. I mean, that's the main reason. I cannot accept a life without hot sex.
You ever get close?
Yes.
Yeah. How many times?
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
And then cold feet on your part?
No, 3 times.
3 times.
Yes, I would say.
You got close.
Yeah, I got close. I mean, I was engaged when I was 29.
Okay.
But I kind of knew even as we were engaged and buying the ring and all that stuff, there was a voice in my back of my head always saying, really, you're just gonna fuck this one person forever.
So it was about the sex.
It's, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But
so
that's-
really, so I think that that does show that pornography and sex is something that is not a good thing.
You may be right.
Yeah.
You may be
It
right.
prevented you from unlocking this thing.
And you're,
You know, it's crazy. He's always said, "Oh, marriage is stupid. I hate marriage." Now he's just like, "Nah, I just wanted to get lots of pussy throughout the course of my life."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but at a certain point, you settle down. I mean, it's the whole point of life. I mean,
that
You
you
have
you
focus,
could be.
the whole other side of your life that's so beautiful, wonderful, that you never get to. And so I think, and then now you times that by just
Yeah,
porn everywhere, porn, or just literally walking down the street and you see an ad and you're like, oh,
right.
I don't know why she has to be naked to sell me this purse, but apparently she has to be naked.
I mean, it's also the case that, not take the sex out of the equation. I mean, is anyone really that interesting that you're the only person you want to spend this much time with? I mean, Annie Mae said that.
Many people, and I spent outside of marriage too. I mean, I wish every day, actually today's my grandpa's death anniversary, that he's one person I could speak to every day. I would get rid of 6 friends to always be able to speak to my grandfather as my friend. Yeah, they're that interesting.
Did he raise you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and to be able to have those conversations with him, like there are people that are just that
Why
interesting.
didn't your parents raise you?
Well, we lived in my grandparents' house, but my grandfather was the patriarch of the home without question. So
Wow.
he, was set to breakfast and made us breakfast and read the Bible to us and really instilled
The
values. And I did
Bible.
go a very liberal route to conservatism. I thought I was a liberal. I kind of went back to.
What were his politics?
He didn't have any. He wasn't conservative, but
He
he
was.
was not politically inclined. Conservative in terms of met my girl when he was 17.
But like, what did you think of John F. Kennedy? He was probably a young man.
See, I wish he was still alive. I wish I was alive. I could talk about him.
Oh. Yeah.
Now that we're talking about it, yeah, but there are.
I don't buy that for a second. They're probably liberal as fuck.
yeah, I mean they're black, so that's sort of like
Don't
the
forget,
trend.
she is interned at the Obama White House.
Black people vote Democrat,
Yeah.
same as Hispanics, and
At the Obama White House and sued her school district for a racial.
except now a lot of Hispanics actually do vote for Trump. It's ridiculous, like a huge chunk. They're just like, yeah, I don't understand. The school code say they're taking the kid because of the gender.
Are you staying home for the election?
Yeah, I might.
Am
I might because just for the simple fact that, dude, I don't have anything in my name here in Miami.
Oh, damn, for real.
Yeah, still got my license in New York, bro.
Yeah, no, if Biden gives this 100 billion to Israel, I'm staying home.
100 billion, bro. They're gonna give him a T.
Frankie, you already went to the park.
Bro, they just went against something too American, bro. Like, we love rock concerts, bro.
Yeah. Well, no,
I
it
love going there, listening to heavy metal,
was a music festival.
rock and roll.
All right, let's roll it.
There are so many people, and especially now as people lack so much depth and so much character, and it's even for me, it's difficult to even find interesting friends. So I get what you're talking about. Do I want to talk to this person forever? No. But my grandfather, people that lived.
What would your grandfather have said about the people who say like racism has never been worse?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was kind of the first politically inclined person in my show in my family, and it was interesting to kind of see how everyone reacted to it. And my grandfather, I cared very deeply about what my grandfather thought about me. Very deeply. I care very deeply about what my grandfather thinks about me. And he called me up one day, and I happened to have been invited to speak about the rise of white supremacy in front of Congress. And I've never seen that clip of me.
Mm-hmm.
My
I
granddad
think I did, yeah.
My granddad was sitting behind me. And when I did my opening statement, I said that part of the reason I'm so compelled to dispel this narrative is because my grandfather grew up with real racism. My grandfather had the real Klansmen
That's what.
shooting inside of his home in Fayetteville, North Carolina, when he was a boy.
So I take it he was a Democrat.
Well, no, if he's that far back, it was the Democrats.
It
Be
was-
like, yeah, we ain't voting for
They
fucking
switched over though.
Howard.
That's what people forget. Before the racists started voting Republican.
Yeah, it switched after the fucking after the civil rights bill.
Yeah.
And how insulting for me to harness what he lived through. I haven't lived through a day of that in my life
Right.
because I want clicks and
That's-
views and for people to feel bad for me. That should make people sick when they do that, when they pretend.
And that's all I'm ever asking.
And my granddad was so crazy about it. I read about this in my book. And why I'm the way I am today is that when my grandfather would go into these stories about the Klansmen who hated his dad, and I think it was because his dad was, the kind of person that might whistle at a white girl, you know what I mean? But anyways, when they hated his father, he'd go back.
Wait, we gotta go
but,
back on that story.
The kind of person that might whistle at a white girl, you know what I mean? But anyways, when they hated his father, he'd go back in the story and he'd say, we went in the back of the house, me and the kid, my grandma was 1 of 12, and we'd run under the bed.
1 of 12.
1 of 12, yeah, and then
You're
my
counting on the
granddad,
tradition. then.
exactly, my granddad would say, and then my daddy would grab a shotgun and speak back at them and then shoot back at them boys. Like so powerful, not this like,
Yes.
oh my God, this college is not accepted. It's like, we're just, black people have gotten weak and it saddens me because we were funny, the concept for me of comedians, Black people being able to turn pain into humor, funnier than everybody else, like always from this position of strength. And I had so much pride in that growing up. I had pride in my grandfather, pride in Black America, and to see it all suddenly dissipate for me with the rise of the BLM narrative, this idea that like no matter what, whatever Bill Maher's thinking, he just sees me as like, that's a horrible,
It's hard.
toxic.
No.
I want to be able to make fun of you for your race. I want you to make fun of me. I want us to be able to talk stereotypes because they're real and they're funny.
And I've seen you like take people.
We can get on board with this.
She's firing on all cylinders right now for me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't call me racist if I guess.
Don't call me racist because I guess your ethnicities perfectly.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And
apart.
my food's about to get here in a little bit.
Black only guys. I saw you with the guy. I forget.
Yeah,
who
we
it
gotta
was.
wrap it up soon
But, I
too.
mean, you.
Yeah, in like another 5 minutes. And
Like nobody's business. And again, when I'm agreeing
we'll
with you,
finish the rest tomorrow.
pleasure to watch that. And that's all I'm ever asking with I've been, you're there are lots of idiot like commentators like Bill Maher's I'm not a racist. I just want the truth. Just don't lie to me.
But don't you miss being able to make fun of each other in like a feel-good way? Go watch the old stand-up comedians. They would walk in, they'd be on stage, and they would just literally, you could not survive. You're Chinese, you're getting a joke, you're Black, you're getting a joke about and everyone is being offended, and everyone's like,
That's us.
Cannoli
Folks.
boys.
That's us, folks. That's what we do.
That's us, folks.
Oh, you
There's a
look
reason they called me
racially-
Don Rickles one time.
Oh, you
Greatest
look
moment I ever had.
racially ambiguous. You're getting hit with something.
We're from the Don Rickles School of Comedy. How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah. We're roasting.
Yeah.
laughing, and when they walk out,
Right.
they're closer.
Closer.
Because you
I
need to,
couldn't
you
agree
need
more.
to have the
Right,
same
you
idea.
do.
You're not-
Now, when you're walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
See, I can't make a joke because if it's taken the wrong
Or
way.
issue an apology.
Right,
It's
and that way we don't get close.
yeah, we never get closer. We never
Right.
get closer. And I
It's
still keep that.
terrible.
I keep it. I make fun of my friends for, I'm like, oh, well, it's because you're Black, or that's because you're Spanish, oh, you're Jewish. And that is why we are so close, because we are able to, that is actually.
Also,
how
and it's
people-
not to say that racism still doesn't
Never, there's always
exist.
gonna be stupid people.
Like there will be criminals.
Yes, exactly.
It's-
People are dumb. We get that,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
you're gonna find these
It's,
people.
is that in a country that's now 39% non-white, and where most of the white people are not bigots anymor, they're gonna be as enlightened as you and your.
Have you ever been real racist? Like, that's too loud. No, I'm serious. Because we don't get accused of racism, but have you ever met like a real, like,
Well-
what always gets missed here is if you ever met a real racist, you wouldn't take a racist seriously because they're so
I never-
stupid. Like, I mean, it's like you can't, I mean, it's like brain never developed, like, for example, the docuseries I'm doing right now.
Right, tell me about it.
Convicting a murderer, which is 10-part docuseries we're working on right now. We've got the prison calls of this person that the media turned into a hero, Stephen Avery. Netflix did this whole bit, made you think he was innocent. And we went back and got the prison calls between Stephen Avery and his family. They should be listened to, right? They're dropping the N-word over and over. These people can barely put together a sentence, right? The idea that I would be offended by this prison call would actually lower, it would lower my standards. You know what I'm saying? For you to be offended by this person who literally, they don't comprehend things. They're so stupid. They've, lived in this trailer park forever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, am I to be offended or shocked that this person is dropping the N-word? There's no black person that's gonna watch this series and be like, well, there it is. Like, no one was fearful of this racism. And by the way, ended up killing a white girl, because
All right, I don't like this shit because they're just talking about fringe cases. You want to do the rest tomorrow?
Yeah, andiamo, sono stanco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the beach, bro. Fucking burnt out.
Oh, we got to. Oh, you didn't work today?
Yeah, today's my day off.
Oh, Ben. And
And I unit it. Hey, dang. Hey, dang. Andiamo, ragazzi. Tomorrow after work, Cannoli Boys Part 2.
again. And
Andiamo.